counting down? Okay. Okay, thanks so much. Okay, thank you to Louisa for setting up the camera for me. So, in this project that I'm doing, I'm interviewing 500 people, and oftentimes people don't want to be on camera, right? They would rather send me a response, or they'd rather me just write down the words that they say. My dad is interview number 50, Tim Perzanowski, and he represents the last interview from North America. That's Canada, the United States, and Mexico. And when I asked, like, hey Dad, would you be a part of this project? He said, yeah, and I'll write you a response, which is very him, right? Not being in the spotlight, but helping in any way possible. And so, because this project is about universal brotherhood and how we can most love each other as people, I really want to make a dedicated video to my dad. Because really, of all the people that I know, he's the man I most want to be like, who I most want to emulate. I want to continue his legacy as much as possible. As much as this project is Love John Cooper, which is named after my grandpa, I literally couldn't do this project without my dad. A really beautiful story is that right now my debit card isn't working in Nicaragua. Like, my bank has like a little war or is feuding with the Nicaraguan government for some reason. So my dad's literally going to the, like Walmart or whatever to send me MoneyGram. So I'm really deeply appreciative of that. And I've thought a lot over the last year and a half as I've been doing this project about who my heroes are. And I've been very definitive in my knowledge, very sure that Jesus, the Buddha, Socrates, and my dad. And that's in the entire scope of human history, of everybody that I've read, of everything that I've studied, of everything that I've seen. Because to me, my dad's a person who I've never met another person who has gone so far above and beyond to help other people. And I think that's really reflected in the interview answer he gives. He talks about 6 degrees of separation, and he talks about, we're all connected in some way. So for example, if I'm having an amazing life and I'm really beautiful to the people around me, they might be more beautiful to the people around them, and so on and so on. And as a testament to my dad, he's my first contact, right? He's my first male role model. He's my first supplier, provider, role model, Christian figure. And all the love that he's shown me, all the sacrifice, all the dedication, all the time driving 2 hours to work and back, being my basketball coach, my volleyball coach, bringing me to the church when I was younger. I can't even really think, I should have made a list of everything that he's done because it's quite an extensive list. Boy Scout leader, Cub Scout leader, the list just goes on and on and on. There's lots of things to struggle for in this life, and I think that one thing my father's really shown me is the importance of male role models and father figures, right? Not everybody's lucky enough to have a strong male role model or a strong father figure, but if you're listening to this video, I would urge you as much as possible to step up to that responsibility, right? Life is complicated and things happen, but everybody deserves a strong father. I don't think there's many dads like mine. I don't think that my dad's a common person, and so you might not get to that level necessarily, and that's okay, but there's a true absence of fathers in the world. There's a true absence, I think, of lots of male responsibility in stepping up to being a father, and that's really a huge problem, right? When I think about my life and who I could have turned out to be and who I am, I think that my life would have been significantly worse if it wasn't for my dad. So what I'm going to do now is just read his response, sort of being that voice for him to articulate it into the project itself. So let me just find that real quick. One second. Lag. Hopefully I can edit this out. Oh, here we go. So this was my dad's response. That went away again. This is my dad's response to the universal brotherhood question. Like, how can we as people live more connectedly? How can we live more in more universal brotherhood with one another? If we are to live in universal brotherhood, unity and connection, what do we have to do and what's preventing us from doing that? My name is Perzanowski. I'm a husband, father, and retired engineer. I've lived in California for the last 50 of my 70 years. I'm Spencer's father, and I'm very proud of his efforts in this project and the person he's become. To live in universal brotherhood, I believe in the concept of 6 degrees of separation, the idea that anyone can be connected to any other person through a chain of acquaintances with no more than 5 intermediaries in play. Beginning with this concept, if a person were to act locally, i.e. working on exhibiting the principles of brotherhood and connection within our small spheres of daily contacts, I believe that interactions with our contacts would radiate from our own small groups. A good example is that you, me, are my son, and by what behavior I've modeled, good or bad, is reflected in you. And you have reached out to people in many countries, and that is just 1 degree of separation. The thing keeping me from universal brotherhood are biases and not seeing the immediate results of my efforts. I try daily to do little things that make people's lives better, even for strangers. I know there's a lot of hate, evil, and distrust in the world, but I pray that every day it gets better. Ted Martinez, when I was in Flagstaff, made a beautiful point about bright spots. That is, sweating in this Nicaraguan heat, my goodness. We should do our best to live in bright spots and to exemplify, to model, and to promote bright spots. To me, my dad is a bright spot. And when I'm in South and Central America, I really do try to emulate his generosity, his love, his support. Just like when I was a teacher, I tried to emulate the love and support my mother showed me. I try to do the same thing here. So with all the projects that I do, it's not just me, it's not just Spencer, it's not just my own idea. It's also, just like I think that Jesus is with me currently and actually walks with me, I know too that my dad walks with me, and he's always there for me. It's a really beautiful thing. So thank you, Dad, for being interview number 50. Much love.